Hello Avengers, it's me, Svenny McG. I'm here today with a quick video on these PDP Joy-Con protectors. Now this product I found recently, and I'm going to try them out on my Nintendo Switch, see what it's like, what it's compatible with, what it's not, how it feels. There's some Joy-Con grips here in addition to the protectors themselves. So let's have a quick look at the product here and see what we think. Let's take a look. So this is the Joy-Con Armor Guards by PDP, Performance Design Products. And you can see here, you actually get two sets of Joy-Con protectors, and you're going to have both your left and your right. So you can see here they have the openings for your shoulder buttons up top on either side, and even for the IR ports coming out of the right Joy-Con. Up top, you can see that there are also thumb grips. So they say designed for various modes of gameplay for the product here. Again, you're going to be keeping these on. It looks like the sides are open, so you should still be able to connect it through to the Switch. We'll try that out, we'll test it, and we'll see what we can get. On the back, shows plain and simple, just clipping them on top. Again, at the bottom of the right Joy-Con, it doesn't show it here, but that would be where the IR sensor would be, right there. And again, this product says came out in 2017, and I was able to find it recently at Best Buy for fairly cheap, so we're going to give it a try. Also of note on the packaging, this is an official Nintendo licensed product, even though it's manufactured by PDP. And you can see here, this is of course a paper Joy-Con. This does not come with any Joy-Cons in the packaging. This is just protectors. Alright, with the items removed from the packaging, we're going to go ahead and give them a look over. Now, I can tell you right now, these thumb grips, I do not actually really like the feel of these. There's nothing inherently wrong with the plastic mold or anything, but it is, effectively it feels like plastic more than rubber. And compared to the actual feel of the Joy-Con sticks itself, this rubberized grip pulls on your thumb nicely, and this one I feel is pretty slick, and it's not something I'm going to actually be utilizing. That said, I do enjoy having these as an added bonus, because I do have some controllers, for example old third-party 360 controllers, etc., where the thumb is actually missing. So the gripping is missing on the thumbsticks. So being able to replace that, this looks like it will fit. So it is a nice added bonus to be able to have these pieces as part of this packaging. That said, I won't be using them here on the Joy-Cons. As for the actual core of the product, the Joy-Con protectors, you can see here, I've just removed the Joy-Con. It actually has the Nintendo emblem, the Nintendo Switch symbol embossed right in there. So that's pretty nice. It's nice looking. Inside, this part of the plastic with the sheen actually almost feels sticky. It's the way the plastic's manufactured, so that should stick to the grip, to the Joy-Con kind of nicely. Whereas on the outside, it's more of a matte, soft finish. So this doesn't feel sticky on your hand, but that's okay. That's the way it's designed, and that feels quite nice, to tell you the truth. Let's go ahead and attach these on and see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead here. So I'm going to try and actually lay the shoulder buttons into the slot first, and then we're just going to push down gently. And actually that clipped in, no problem, no fuss. It didn't take a lot to actually slide it in. And again, we're going to do this one here real time, also one-handed. And again, just slightly push it in, slight click, and that's all there is to it. You can see here on top, the shoulder buttons are protected here, but I do have access to them, so that feels nice. This part of the shielding here is pretty close to that top L bumper, but you can still access it. No major issue there. The rest of it feels good, and the main thing about this, the main reason why I bought these was not because I was so concerned of the Joy-Cons and they're effectively being fragile. It was really going to be more for the comfort grip. The Joy-Cons, when you hold them for a long time, especially playing in handheld mode, a lot of you know, it's not the most ergonomically designed. So having that extra grip, I think that's going to feel pretty good. Let's go ahead and clip these onto the Nintendo Switch itself and see what it feels like. Alright, we've got the right one on, and I'm going to slide in the left stick. Now, of note, by the time it gets down, the shielding itself will actually extend this just a bit beyond the framing of the Switch itself. So I do have the kickstand down, but I actually have to prop this up a little bit to make it click. But now that it's clicked on, it still will stand upright. Hi everybody. And that's okay. It's protecting the bottoms of the Joy-Con, so it's pivoting now on 1, 2, and on the stands 3 spots. Closing that up. Again, I'm holding it here, and you can see that this actually feels pretty good. It makes it more of a grip strength, and it feels pretty comfortable. So as far as it goes, I think it's going to actually feel pretty good being able to play this with extended use. Laying it down, it now sits on the actual on the protectors themselves, so that's not any added stress to the Joy-Cons. So I'm not going to start tossing around to see how well it protects, but again, it's kind of like I said, it's not terribly rubbery, but it does have a nice slick feel to it. So overall, I'd say it feels pretty good. For removing these, note that there actually is a little button here, so this actually pushes down on that release. I found that this right-handed one, of course I have this backwards, but this right-handed Joy-Con was a little bit harder to press, but the left one here pushed pretty easy, and the Joy-Con just slides up. So you can see here it slides in, slides out, no problem having that gripping on, and the trademark Switch. Now a quick thing to note here, this is a third-party charging port that I have for the Nintendo Switch. Perhaps I'll get into this in another video, but for now, in order to have these sit and charge on the stand, they come down and again kind of have that trademark Nintendo click. Note that here, using these here, I've got the left, it marks on top where your lefts and your rights go. Note that I have, again, the issue with that bottom gripping part. Again, it's part of the design. It is meant to protect it, but unfortunately that will prevent this from seating, and having these not fully all the way in, this will actually prevent this from charging in this port. So I will have to continually remove this in order to keep these Joy-Cons properly charged. And not the worst thing in the world, but I can say that that is a little bit of an inconvenience, so just something to keep in mind when using this product. Also, just for the sake of confirming here, here they are. I've now slotted them onto these green and yellow. Of course, using the Joy-Con adaptive controller, of course, to show these will not fit. You can try to slide it, but right away you are running into the framing itself. So yes, indeed, these will have to come off in order to be able to utilize this controller port. Again, it's not a terrible inconvenience, it just is the nature of this, but they will have to be removed. Having to continually remove them, this thin sheet of plastic here may not be the best way to go about it, so I think just sliding them out from the bottoms, and then again sliding out from there, always sliding it in that sense around the bumper ports, then you should be able to maintain the integrity of the protector and utilize it. Now, if we are going to be using these just in handheld mode, of course it's always recommended that you do use the strap adapter. Much like the Wiimotes prior to this, you want to make sure you have one of these straps on so that you're not inadvertently throwing your controller through the television screen. So Again, of course, you know by now, with these you line them up minus to minus or positive to positive in order to make sure that they're going. You don't want to slide them in from underneath and have them go, because it is a little bit of a bear to get these off when they're on incorrectly. Now, with this, just to show, these actually do slide on fairly steady, and again, no issue with the protector being on currently at this time. You can see when I slide it all the way down, clicks on, it's fine. Now, to review it like in this fashion, this actually feels quite nice, because you did have that rounded out edge here naturally on the other Joy-Con controller, so this does support it on that end in order to cover that. This here, you actually have a bottom bump out now as part of the controller's design, or the protector's design, so now you can actually hold it and it feels quite nice underneath. Again, this is more akin to that kind of feeling you get from the legs of like a PS3 controller or anything like that. So I can actually grip it in that fashion, and that feels kind of nice. So for playing multiplayer games where we have like Super Bomberman, and I have about 7 friends sitting around playing, this is probably going to be the preferred method for those holding the Joy-Cons, because this actually feels quite nice. You can enjoy the buttons, the clickiness. You can hold it on both sides like that, and again, it feels great. So for this reason alone, this was part of the reason, like I said, including handheld mode, as well as for this multiplayer, ergonomically, this feels great. So I have to admit that this was the main reason why I bought it, not actually for the sake of protecting my Joy-Cons and making sure that they were going to survive all of my thrashing gameplay sessions, but ergonomically, this feels fantastic. So for this reason alone, I'm very happy to have bought this product. And one final thing to look at, of course, with these protectors on the Joy-Cons is mounting it into the dock. You can see here, it is compatible. We don't have to take them off in order to put the Nintendo Switch console back into the dock. So if you're ready to play and you want to then remove them, you can click on that springy button again on the back, slide them out, or pick up your Pro controller or any other device you have in order to play. But again, for the sake of this, with these protectors on, you can simply mount the Nintendo Switch into its dock, and there's no issue here. It is not coming into contact with those protectors. So there you have it, a quick review on the PDP Joy-Con protectors. Like I said, I found them for pretty cheap at Best Buy, and I'm pretty satisfied with that purchase. They feel great on there. Like I said, the ergonomics alone, that actually makes it quite playable. I believe this is going to add some life to my gameplay here. And not that I want to sound terribly like an old person, but getting to be a little bit old here. Like I said, in general, it's nice to have, it's nice to hold. When you're sitting around, you're watching your favorite YouTube person, you can go ahead and enjoy with these on. So again, great product, happy to have it, and hope you enjoyed this video. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for following along. I appreciate all of you, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care, be good to each other.